Okay, today we're going to cook this very exciting, very delicious and popular beef and broccoli. This is a very popular dish in Asian restaurant. Let's first get a piece of beef. Let's make it halfway thawed before you slice it. This is so easy for you to slice it to about a 1.5 quarter type of thickness. Now let's get some ginger ready. Slice this to thin pieces and put it in the beef bowl there. Now let's shake a little bit white pepper in there. This is for the base flavor. So add a little bit chicken bouillon, a little bit rice wine, so a little bit soy sauce, and a little bit salt. Now let's also put a little bit water in there. So this water will help the salt to dissolve. So now the meat is not completely thawed, so let's set it aside and wait. Now let's wash a head of broccoli. Put a little bit of salt in the water and cut the stem off. Remember, this is for stir frying, so you want to cut the broccoli to smaller pieces, just the bite size. It's easy to cook evenly. Let's get some pre-mixed sauce together. A little bit of 5 spice, a little sugar, a little bit black pepper. Imagine the flavor. It's very complicated yet simple and delicious. Now add a little bit dark soy sauce. That's also adding flavor and color. A little bit oyster sauce, a little bit more soy sauce, and also add some water. Since we're going to use a little bit cornstarch here, a little bit water is very necessary. And add the cornstarch in there and stir it and make sure everything's dissolved. And add a little bit more chicken bouillon if you will. Mix it really well. This will save a lot of time later on. Now the beef should be soft. Rub it a little bit. This way the flavor can be absorbed. Now let's also put a little bit of water in there. So this water will help the salt to dissolve. You don't need to add any kind of powder to tenderize the meat. The trick is the way you cut it, perpendicular to the fiber. And add a little bit of water and then stir fry it in the very high heat. That's the trick to make the beef very tender. Squish it a little bit and separate all the thin slices so this way you can cook it very evenly. Add a little bit of oil. This also can help you to separate those thin sliced beef so they're not stick together. This way you can cook that very nicely and easily. Now let's cover it for another 5 to 10 minutes. Let's bring some water to a boiling. For blanching vegetable, you want to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil in there, bring it to a boil. Now let's put the broccoli in there. 1 minute should be enough. When you see the stem is all translucent and the color is really beautiful, bright green, fish it out. And let's set this broccoli aside. Now let's get a wok. Put a little bit of peanut oil in there. Depends on your cooking habit. I usually put about 1/6 cup or 1/4 cup of peanut oil. Use high heat. Now let's go ahead, slice this beef in there. Don't pile that together. Try to spread it thin. Once you put everything in there and start to stir it, you can see the color quickly change to light brown. When you see most of the beef change the color, add the broccoli in there. Make sure you don't get the water in there. Just push the broccoli in there carefully. Now you're stirring this broccoli and beef together so the meat and the vegetable can blend really nicely. Now you see the pre-mixed sauce can be easily added to there. That saves you a lot of time. Remember, we have starch in there, so use the medium heat. Be careful it doesn't get burned. Now when you see the sauce thickened, add a little bit sesame oil and remove it from heat. Now believe it or not, this delicious, mouth-watering beef and broccoli is ready. Let's serve it and enjoy!